Someone asks how you're doing, and the word fine is already out before you've actually checked. Not because you're lying, because you genuinely don't know if it's true. You just know fine is the answer that ends the question. You can tell someone exactly what you think about almost anything, your opinion on the situation, the logical next step, what you should probably do about it. All of that comes easily, but ask what you're actually feeling right now, in this moment, and something goes quiet. Not calm. Quiet the way a room goes quiet when no one's sure what to say. You reach for a word and nothing specific comes, just a kind of static, a pressure with no name attached to it. So you do what you always do. You get busy. You solve the next thing. You keep moving, because moving doesn't require you to answer a question you don't have an answer to. Later, maybe hours later, maybe days later, it arrives sideways. You snap at someone over nothing. You cry during a commercial. You feel wrecked by something small, and you have no idea where it came from because you never felt it coming. You're not made of stone. Whatever this is didn't stop happening. It just stopped announcing itself to you first. Here are 7 signs you don't know what you feel and why you go numb instead. Ask your opinion and you're fluent. Ask your feeling and you stall. This isn't a small gap. Thinking and feeling can end up as 2 very different systems, and for you, one may have gotten built out more than the other. Somewhere along the way, having a feeling wasn't especially useful or especially safe, but having a plan, an opinion, a next step that got you through. So that's the muscle you trained. It's not that you're unfeeling. It's that you learned to translate everything into logic before it ever reaches you as emotion. So by the time it arrives, it's already wearing a different costume. In the moment, you're fine, composed even. It's an hour later, or the next morning, when it hits. And by then, it doesn't look like the original feeling anymore. It looks like exhaustion, irritability, a heaviness you can't explain. Your emotional reaction may not be missing. It may be delayed, arriving later because in the moment, feeling it fully didn't feel safe or welcome. Somewhere, feeling something in real time got you in trouble, embarrassed, or dismissed, so your system learned to push it down the road instead. You're not slow to feel. You're scheduled to feel later, once it's quiet enough, once no one's watching. I'm just tired. I feel off. Something's weird today. You reach for the body before you reach for the word, because the body is easier to admit to than the feeling underneath it. This happens when naming an emotion once felt riskier than just enduring it. Tired doesn't require an explanation. Sad does. Off doesn't invite questions. Hurt does. So your vocabulary quietly shrank down to the words that ask the least of you. You're not out of touch with your body. Your body became the only channel it was ever safe to speak through. The to-do list gets longer right when things get emotionally loud. Not because there's actually more to do, but because doing is easier than feeling, and your hands would rather be occupied than still. Stillness is when the static becomes a signal. So you don't get still. You clean, you organize, you fix something that didn't need fixing, because motion keeps the feeling at a distance it can't quite close. It's not that you love being productive. It's that productivity is one of the few places numbness doesn't feel like a problem. You know, the second someone in the room is upset, even if they haven't said anything, you adjust, you accommodate. You're fluent in other people's inner weather. Your own forecast, though, stays blank. That's not a coincidence. Reading other people's emotions may have become the skill you relied on most, a way to stay alert, useful, and ahead of whatever was coming. Reading your own never got the same investment because no one was tracking it for you the way you learned to track everyone else. You became an expert in everyone but yourself. A moment that should feel enormous, a loss, a win, a milestone, arrives and you're just there, watching it happen, waiting to feel the thing you're supposed to feel. This isn't apathy, it's protection. At some point, feeling things fully got overwhelming or unsafe, so your system learned to flatten the volume across the board, the hard moments and the good ones together, because it couldn't turn down one without turning down the other. The muting wasn't selective, It was total, and you've been living inside it long enough to think it's just how you are. Days later, after the reaction has already passed, it clicks. That was grief. That was jealousy. That was fear. The word finally arrives, long after the feeling needed it. Naming something while it's happening requires a kind of access you never got to practice. So the label shows up in hindsight instead. Once it's safe, once it's over, once there's nothing left, it could cost you to finally say it out loud. None of this means you don't feel things. It means somewhere along the way, feeling in real time may have started to feel unsafe, overwhelming, or unhelpful, so your mind rerouted around it, and numbness became the setting your system defaults to when it isn't sure what else to do. That rerouting made sense once. It got you through. But you were never meant to live permanently in the static, and the feelings underneath it didn't disappear. They've just been waiting for it to be safe enough to be named. But even once you start naming what you feel, there's a harder question underneath it. Why saying what you need out loud still feels like the most dangerous part of all? That's next.